Alright fellas, we're right back in Pokemon Masters, and we're taking a look at the second part of the July Sync Pairs of 2024. In this video we're going to be covering Klara and Slowbro, Avery and Slowking, and Greta and Breloom. So, yeah, last video we went over Summer Gardenia and Summer Acerola, and obviously all the EX rolls and expanded grids for the older characters, right? Jasmine, Signature Iris, Signature Brendan, and Signature Lyra. So if you want to see any of that, or my reactions to any of that, go watch that first video. Anyway, again, this one will be covering these three sync pairs. The next video will be covering all the new Lodge Kabus alongside the new 5 units from the new battle content. I don't know what it's called again, and I don't have whatever. You know what it is, probably. Anyway, so we got all 3 of these characters here. They all use max moves. Neat. Cool. Okay, whatever. So I guess we'll start out with Klara. Which one is it? Granted, it's not really that different, but still, whatever. I'm not going to say it right anyway. So, she's got Galarian Slowbro, of course, as expected, female, whatever. I don't know why that matters. She's the Tech EX roll, Special Strike, Tech Strike combo, always pretty solid. She's a poison character with Ghost weakness. She drops July 12th, leaves August 7th, 3 weeks to pull, a little over that, not too shabby. And again, pretty average theme skills: Grown Woman, Gym Leader, Galar, Poison, Artistic. Don't ask why Grown Woman was the first one that popped in my head. Okay, and looking at the stats, she's got 661 health, 424 in both offenses, 185 defense, 163 special defense, and 282 speed. I don't know. Yes, I do. Ah, gotcha. 6-star AX. She's got good offenses still. Defenses are fine. HP's solid. Speed's fine. Over 500 offenses with the Strike EX roll is definitely really good. So, very solid and respectable offenses from a character who's probably going to be doing damage. Looking at her moves, she's got Sludge Bomb, 3-gauge, 92 base power move, 30% chance to poison. Poison Jab, 92 power. Okay. Sure. Okay. Neat. So she's got a physical and special option that effectively do the same thing. They just, yeah. It's effectively the same thing. And then her buddy move, Poisonous Shell Sidearm. 2-gauge move, 240 base power, hits both physical and special damage. I think that's actually the main gimmick of the move in the main series. I forget. Actually, is it? I don't remember. Cool though. Neat. Activation condition is when the physical moves next or special moves next. Effect is increased. The activation condition is when it is not. This move's category changes to physical when the user's physical moves next is higher than special moves next. Conversely, this move's category changes to special. Okay, so it alternates. Got it. I like how it says conversely. Alternatively. Indubitably. This move category changes to special when the user's special moves next effect rank is equal to or higher than its physical moves, or whatever effect rank. The category for this move's the corresponding max move will not change from special. The move never misses. It leaves the target poisoned. It grants the following Jesus Christ. Okay. Lowers target attack and defense by 2 stat ranks. Restores HP. In addition, grants the following 2 effects when the move is special: lowers target special attack and special defense by 2, applies 3 moves next. Did you have to put in a whole word salad into that thing? Dude. Okay, so let me just get this straight. I gotta fucking read it again. So, obviously it changes type, or it changes category based on which amount of physical or special moves next you have, right? And when the move, okay, in addition, when the move is physical, it lowers attack and defense by 2 and restores HP. And then whenever it's special, it lowers special attack and special defense and applies 3 moves next. Okay, that's cool. Got it. Great. And the move is still max, and all the max moves are max ooze. They're all special, physical, whatever. Sure. Yeah. Buff out special attack. I don't care. Cool. And then her training move, I'm getting better, raises attack and special attack by 4, crit by 3. She's just a damage dealer so far. She's Neo Champion Sharon 2.0, except she actually somehow manages to have less utility than Neo Champion Sharon, which is pretty crazy to think about as a tech. Cool. Either way, it's a pretty decent looking kit, I guess. Wonky, but could be decent. Physical passive skills: full course Feast of Venom, increasing physical moves next when the attack move when it successfully attacks with Poison Jab, and it raises special moves next when it attacks with Sludge Bomb. That makes sense. Physical max move, physical boost 3, increasing the user's physical moves next by 3 after using the physical max move, and then special max move, same thing. Okay, we said about special moves next instead. That makes sense, yeah. So it looks like you're just trying to juggle physical and special moves next, meaning that Neo Champion Rosa is 100% going to be her best partner, for the simple fact that the way that I'm looking at the buddy move here is that if you give her both physical and special moves next, then she's going to be able to use the move twice in a row effectively, because she'll use the physical moves next one turn, and then the next turn will be using the special moves next. You know, right? So this basically means that any ally who can apply both physical and special moves next to her at least every other turn is going to be good. So Elaine and Neo Champion Rosa are immediately in my head as options that could keep this move activated, which is really good for sure. And of course, she does have the mixed offensive options with Sludge Bomb and Poison Jab. So if you're trying to face an enemy that has a Wise Entry or Sentry Entry, of course you can work and play around that. So yeah, of course you do have to worry about that potentially with the Sidearm, Poisonous Shell, Sidearm. I can't fucking speak. Poisonous Shell, Sidearm, Buddy move. Because of course it will change to physical or special depending on which one you have the higher amount of, so you got to be careful of that a little bit. Either way, so far though, she's literally just a damage dealer, so if her kit does not have any more text, then I'm going to be filing a complaint personally to DNA Incorporated, I don't even think that's what it's called, about how this character should be a striker. I'm kidding, I don't really care, not that much. Anyway, she's at 1 out of 5, she's got Clear-Headed, this is Klara, right? Yeah. 2 out of 5, she gets Trigger Move NPR, Sludge Bomb Gauge Refresh, Poison Jab Gauge Refresh, Debut Physical Moves next, Debut Special Moves next, Gobsmack, Sync Regen, Max Move, Gauge Acceleration, and Quick Cure and Natural Remedy. Just some decent enough utility abilities, literally just the most basic filler in all of existence with Gobsmack, Natural Remedy, and Quick Cure. The +1 physical and special moves next on entry, I guess, is nice for using Shell Arm immediately or whatever if you want to. It's decent enough for that, and also this is definitely a high-powered move. 240 minimum base power is really, really solid. Anyway, point being, whatever. It's a pretty okay 2 out of 5, I guess. It's mostly just filler, though. I mean, Gauge Acceleration, Sync Regen, Quick Cure, Natural Remedy, these are just gauntlet abilities alongside Gobsmack, right? I mean, it doesn't really enhance much of her kit other than that. It's just general abilities that pretty much every character gets, right? And Gauge Refresh, you know, even more so. And Training Move NPR, I guess, is decent for maxing her offenses if you don't have a support to do that, I guess, if you want to. 3 out of 5, she gets Sync Move, Physical Moves up next 2. I'm going to guess Physical Moves next. Yeah, Sync Move, Physical Moves up next 2. Endurance, Soften up 1. Haymaker, Toxic Power, Fierce Entry 2. Does she not have Grand Entry? Wow, okay. Opponent Poison, Max Move up 3. And then the 2 Sync Notes, right? So she's got a 100% multiplier here, and that's it, I guess. Oh yeah, she's also got the innate multiplier, Brain Power. Okay, I forget that half the time with Tech and Sprint characters they got the innate multiplier, right? She's got innate Brain Power, so combine that with Haymaker, 200% multipliers. Combine that with the Strike EX roll, probably a pretty good Strike EX, right? You know, yada yada, whatever. It's solid enough anyway. And then she's got the opponent poison max moves for 30% multiplier when using the max move against a poisoned opponent, right? So she's definitely got good power there, which is nice. Toxic Power for a 50% multiplier, which is going to be really good for her low base powered poison jabs and sludge bombs, because those tend to be horrible damaging options anyway. And of course, it's going to be very, very solid for the Poisonous Shell sidearm. So you will, of course, be doing some good damage there too. Tons of good damage as long as you can keep the move activated. Again, right, with partners like Neo Champion Rosa or Elaine around, that could be pretty easy, could be hard. I don't know. Soften up 1 is good if you give her the Strike EX roll, of course, because you do have that 3 chances to miss or fail the crit on the enemy, right? Because of how this game loves to work with crits. So Soften up 1 prevents that, which is great. Endurance, I don't think really has that much use. I mean, it could be clutch to save you in a bad moment. Just really depends, situation to situation and team build to team build. And then the 2 notes for physical and special moves next. I mean, it's decent. I don't really see much of a reason to run this. I'd rather just kind of enhance her physical and special moves next via supportive means than try and pick them up in the grid. I would mostly probably try and focus on maybe getting the stuff down here. But, that's just me, and that's just my initial thoughts anyway. 4 out of 5, she gets max countdown 2, generic max stuff, whatever. I mean, a little bit of sync countdown, I guess. Combine that with head start 1, I can see up here already at 5 out of 5. You can get some sync ramping, I guess. Max damage guard, applying damage guard after using the max move, because she does not actually have max guard, unlike most other max move users. And discombobulate 9 for debuffing enemy accuracy. Could be good for the gauntlet, though, honestly. I think it's a little bit too late to be thinking about gauntlet, because she doesn't have any recovery. Okay, sorry, sync regen. She does have recovery. She's got Volo recovery, right? And we see how good Volo is for that. I think she's fine, though. She's going to be a solid damage dealer. She is, of course, wonky, right, with her physical and special moves changing or rather orienting buddy move here, but it's still not going to be bad. It's still going to be quite strong because that is a very high powered base move alongside, having really, really solid poison allies like Greta, Oleana, Suit Roxy. All of them will work really, really well with Klara, I would say, to make her look a lot stronger. And obviously, she can, I guess, enhance him with just more damage, I guess, and poison and whatever else. Sure, I guess. I don't really much else to say there. But I don't know. She's got a fine kit. Definitely damage dealing oriented more than actual tech utility based oriented. And I don't think that even changes at all in the grid. She's completely damage oriented aside from the generic abilities pretty much every character gets, like Gobsmack and Quick Cure and Natural Remedy and whatnot. And discombobulate does not make up for her being completely fucking damage oriented despite being attack. But I mean, it's good, right? It's not like that's a bad thing. It's just, it's kind of weird to think about. I guess it's definitely not a bad thing though, because like the combination of tech and strike is better than strike and tech 9 times out of 10. So either way, it's good. We'll take those. She looks like she's gonna be good for poison. We'll take it. Yeah. Anyway, now let's go ahead and move on to Avery. Maybe he'll be different and actually maybe bring some utility. Who knows? Anyway, so he's got Galarian Slowking. He's a Field Sync Bear with the Tech EX roll. Psychic weak to dark, not Psychic Dark. Drops July 14th, leaves August 7th. Neato. Psychic Galar, Gym Leader, Glasses Supernatural. I also kind of forgot that was their whole gimmick, is that they were gym leaders. It's been so long since I played the Isle of Armor. Any Sword and Shield stuff in it, really. Anyway, whatever. 448 special attack. I guess he's only got special offensive abilities. 185 special defense, 160 special defense, 282 speed, 655 health. And what are his stats with 6-star EX and EX roll? So over 200 in both defenses. 48 special attack's good. And of course, tech does make that higher. So very good offensive stats, solid defensive stats, good HP, decent enough speed. Cool. Moves, he's got Eerie Spell, 4 gauge, 160 power move, no additional effects, so just a high-powered Psychic move. Cool. That's better than Psychic. Galar Analysis, increasing special moves next of all allies by 1, applying the Galar Circle special to the field of play for up to 40% damage power-up and 14% damage reduction. Not too shabby. Nice. Good Galar supportive character. I need to think about special Galar characters. I don't know. It depends, of course, on the rest of the kit, but like, I just want to kind of take an overview of like other Galar characters that can benefit. Like New Champion Bede's going to be a good support, obviously, or any other real solid Galar support, really. But for characters that can make abuse of the special side, obviously Klara can make a little bit of abuse of it with her moves and whatnot. New Champion Marnie, Suit Pierce. Decent enough options, a little bit more on the limited side because a lot of the good Galar characters are physical, right? But still, not bad. And then Classy, Chilly Reception. Chilly Reception? I forgot that was a move. 2 gauge, 1 use, targets all opponents. Activation is when the circle is applied to the ally field of play. Debuffs enemy defense, special defense, and evasion by 3, causes a hailstorm, applies no stat increase to the opponent's field of play, applies the stat reduction defense effect to the ally field of play, returns all the stats of all allies in comparison to normal. Okay. And then buddy move ESP, raises an ally special attack by trainer move. Raises an ally special attack by 4, crit by 3, and applies gradual healing. Okay. Very generic buddy move, or trainer move, whatever, for Field Sync Pair. And yeah, we literally just had it with whoever it was, Gardenia, right, earlier. And then the max move, Max Mindstorm, turning the field of play into Psychic Terrain, and then Max Guard for damage reduction, damage guard, right. I don't really have too many opinions right now. Passive skills, set ally and slash entire field, free moves next, 9, applying free moves next to the user when it activates a field effect on either the entire field of play or the ally field of play, so the circle and the Psychic Terrain, and I think that's it. Yeah, and hail, right. Hail physical damage reduction 3, reducing damage taken by allies during hail, and then team hail immunity, preventing allies from hail damage, right? So, okay. I don't really have too many opinions, honestly. I mean, he's got a lot of different abilities that kind of working with each other. The buddy move is good. Debuffing enemy defenses, of course, is nice, and evasion too. Raising ally stats to normal, right? So in case you're speed's debuffed, attack, whatever, any stat debuffs you have, raising to normal is nice. And then prevention, the stat reduction defense ability, right, is good. And then the no stat increase on the enemy side is good as well. I think it would be better if he nullified all enemy stat raises, right? Like if they had any stat buffs, neutralize it, then debuff the defenses and evasion, and then apply the stat reduction defense. So, the stat increase immunity. That would have been definitely obviously better, right? Setting Hail is just random for now because he doesn't have extension. He only really uses Hail for the damage reduction and the Team Hail immunity. Nothing really crazy with that. That makes it really worth mentioning. Psychic Terrain, of course, is only on the max move. He does have good damage options, so he's going to be at least doing good damage. Oh, and of course he does have the Field EX scroll, so he does get the Psychic Terrain from that too. 2 uses, I guess, the Psychic Terrain is nice in that same mixed blue, mixed red type of sense. I don't really have many opinions. The kit just looks weird so far. Good, but weird. And of course he does have the Galar support, Galar analysis support, which does give 14% damage reduction from special attacks, and obviously he's got the 30% physical damage reduction during Hail. So he does have some damage reduction means, which is cool. Doesn't really have healing though, so could be better. Okay, well let's look again though. So at 1 out of 5 he gets clear-headed. 2 out of 5 he gets move gauge refresh on his buddy. Eerie spell here. Natural remedy, unflappable, super defective 1 quick cure, circle HP recovery, circle a damage reduction, precognition, weird recovery, trade with NPR, setting Hail, okay, chilly reception, gauge refresh, not really worth mentioning. All opponents. Oh, okay, yeah, and then heavy Hail. So I guess he's got a little bit of a nuke. 20% nuke, but I don't think that's really worth mentioning. He sets Hail when his HP drops to half, so he does have 2 sets of Hail now, which is nice. Again, the thing with Hail though is that I just don't see much of a reason to have it. I mean, it's just a weather effect. It gives damage reduction, sure, but this is all that the Hail is really doing for the team. That's kind of the one I'm thinking about here. Quick Cure, Natural Remedy, basic abilities, HP recovery with the circle and with Psychic Terrain is both good. This does help out his Gauntlet prowess, I guess, though he doesn't really have much to work with already because he's got a 4-gauge move, not really the best speed stat, very minor gauge management abilities with the free moves next when setting a terrain effect, right? Or field effect, rather. I guess he does have the precognition, which is decent. And then he gets the attack damage reduction when in circle, so he's got even more damage reduction. I don't think the special side of damage reduction is looking too great because it's only up to 14% total, but most of the time it's probably only going to be, 8? Pretty iffy. I'm just thinking about it, it's pretty iffy. That's all it really is to it. Sure, I guess. These are decent enough abilities. I wouldn't really say they're all anything too worth writing home about, though. Maybe the first time setting Hail, right? That could be potentially clutch. Especially for the Nita Ultimate battle, I guess. 3 out of 5, he gets max Countdown 2, max Mindstorm, Power Up, Sync Nodes, Galar, Circle Extension, Better Prepared 3, Brain Power, Hail Alert 5, Hail Power Up for Allies, the Galar Analysis NPR, mostly just that. So in terms of the nuke, I mean, he got Brain Power plus the Heavy Hail, yeah. Heavy Hail plus Brain Power plus the 2 Sync Nodes, so I guess he does have a somewhat decent nuke, kind of, I guess. Could be decent, not really fantastic. It's better than Volo's, I guess, but again, nothing really too crazy. NPR on the circle is nice alongside the extension, so you can keep up that supportive ability for allies. Hail team moves up 2, powering up allies moves by 20% when in Hail. This does apply, this does make Hail look a little bit more valuable, combined with everything else that he already does related to Hail. It looks like he's really trying to be pretty defensive and supportive while maintaining the damage dealing capability with his DPS move here alongside the max move and setting 3 different field effects with his Psychic Terrain, Hail, as well as the Galar Circle, right? Just a weird kit, right? Kind of a jack of all traits type thing. Kind of like what Volo was, just weird. Not bad, but weird, for sure. Hail Alert 5 for extending Hail, very nice as well. Looks like he does not extend Psychic Terrain by any method, but that's fine, I guess. max countdown for a little bit more utility. 4 out of 5, he gets Impervious, as well as debuffing enemy attack and special attack when the attack move is successful. Okay, that's not bad. Now he can debuff 5 stats, which is really good for sure. Does require the use of that 4-gauge move, but still it's not too shabby. And again, Impervious is good for dealing with enemy debuffing gimmicks. 5 out of 5, set allied entire field, special moves up next 1, increasing special moves next for himself when an ally, when it activates, okay, whenever he activates a field effect for the entire field of play or the ally field of play. I mean, special moves next is nice, something that's too valuable of a node though. I really don't see too much value in it, but I mean, it's good enough. Max move, team special defense down 2, lowering enemy special defense by 2. Yeah, okay. I think really 4 out of 5 is most value you're probably ever going to get out of him, and that's mostly in the gauntlet, I would say. And then 3 out of 5 is probably where most people would probably end up stopping this guy at. I don't know. I think his kit's pretty weird. It could be good. I mean, you know, does put the psychic terrain weirdness in it, I guess. Sure. Not bad, though, for sure. I definitely see some pretty decent utilization of him, you know, with the Galar Circle, alongside, again, 3 different field effects, the supportive ability with team power-up with Hail, alongside team damage reduction in Hail, team damage reduction in the Galar Circle, debuffing enemy defenses and evasion, applying no stat increase, preventing ally stat reduction with the stat reduction defense effect, returning ally lowered stats to normal, just a few different things that make him look a little bit better. So, it's all something. Sure, I guess. God, I've got to fucking throw up. Okay. Who's left? Alright, I forgot, we're just looking at Galar. Greta, right. So, Greta is our first field character. Woo, yeah, Greta, let's go. I don't have too many inputs. I mean, it's cool. Yeah. Woohoo, it's cool. We'll take it. Sure. She's a grass sync pair. That's neat. Drops July 16th, leaves August 7th. I'm going to guess she's the third part of the Avery and Klara event. I guess, 3 characters in one event. It's neat. She's got Breloom, so Breloom fans rejoice. Breloom is a cool Pokemon. I'll take it. I'll take that. Cool. Stats, she's got 458 attack, 172 defenses, 356 speed, 651 health. Having the combination of the sprint and field roll, just thinking about it, I mean, I don't think it's that crazy. I mean, it's just something that we've never had before. And of course, the battle rally, always been a pain without those sprint fields. But she does have good stats, of course, all across the board. 240 defenses, 522 attack, 841 health, 454 speed as well. So she's got very good stats just across the board for pretty much anything, I would say. So that is nice. What the hell are these moves, man? Whatever. Okay. Sure. She's got Bullet Seed, 15 power move, attacks 2 to 5 times in a row. She better have no quarter or some other method, please. God. Spore, putting the enemy to sleep at 100% rate, 2-gauge move. Then Deep Sleep Spore, her buddy move, which is a 2-use only move, 2 gauges. Activations when the user uses any move once and deactivates when it's used. The move never misses. It lowers the speed of all allies by 3. Or sorry, all enemies. No, not all allies, please. Puts all opposing sync pairs to sleep, reduces sync countdown by 1, and raises speed of all allies by 3. Sure, I guess. Sure. And then her turn move, Be Ready, reducing sync countdown by 1, raising attack by 4, and crit by 3. And then Max Overgrowth, of course, giving her grassy terrain. The Field DX roll giving her even more grassy terrain. Sprint, of course, helping out with sync countdown again. And she's got innate inertia as well. Okay, just thinking about it, I don't know. I'm already not really seeing the best stuff in this kit, but we'll see. Passive skills, max move, team free moves next. Alright, just some gauge management, I guess, on the max move. Use status, stat up 9, raising one of her stats at random, I guess. When using a status move, evasion cheese could be nice. Then turbo turf for gauges. Sorry, okay. This is, okay, I'm just going to say it. This is a pretty shitty 1 out of 5 kit. Grid definitely could help a lot, but I just don't see much use in this outside of that. Does she get grassy? Do you get basic recovery and grassy terrain in this game? I honestly forget. I don't think you do. I think you have to have a passive for that or whatever. Either way, actually no, grass types do get it, right, yeah. So she does get the healing and grassy terrain, I guess. She got evasion cheese, I guess, if you want to, spam that. The sleep's good, of course. Sleep spam is always something decent. She gets the debuffs and the team gauge management as well. Reducing sync countdown's nice, too. I don't know, just it's all decent stuff, but just combined together, I don't really see too much good stuff in it. I mean, like, if you wanted a character that can, just deny the enemy for half an hour straight, we got Signet Lyra for other grass types, and she can also set grassy terrain, and she got the Field EX roll in the same update, and I think she can buff, like, team stats with, like, crit and whatnot, so, and also Thick raise her own stats, so there's just a lot to go into there and think about when, I guess, comparing maybe Greta and Signet Lyra or whatever, but it's decent. I just want to look at the rest of the kit first, I guess, before I make an actual major judgment. 1 out of 5, she's got Antitoxin, probably to go with Breloom having, Poison Heal, I think, in the main series. 2 out of 5, she gets Super Duper Effective 3, some Gauge Refresh stuff, Good Nightmare 3, Grassy Cushion, Verdant Recovery, Catalytic Infliction, Quick Cure, Natural Remedy, their favorite nodes, Turn with Hit and Heal, and Turn with NPR. Okay. Of course, she, again, does have a lot of Sync Countdown related stuff, which is nice, as always, for any spring character. But I don't think it's really too noteworthy. Of course, you could do some decent ramping. The Hit and Heal's nice. Combine that with the Grassy Terrain, and she does have some very good passive recovery, plus Verdant Recovery here, so she can be healing herself quite a bit. Plus Evasion does give her some more defensive utility as well, if you can proc it. Grassy Cushion for damage reduction 2. Good Nightmare for actual power-up, right? It'd be helpful for actually trying to do Bullet Seed damage, I guess. Catalytic Infliction for just gauge management. Not that she really should need it, but I mean, if you do need it, it is there. And then Super Duper Effective 3 for powering up her pretty underpowered Bullet Seeds when hitting a super effective or a Grass Weak enemy, right? Again, not really anything too crazy here. I do think that the healing could be pretty good, with the gradual healing alongside the Verdant Recovery could be good just for maintaining a very healthy Gardenia in like Legendary Gauntlet solos or something. 3 out of 5, she gets Endurance, Max Overgrowth Power, Cakewalk, Spore, whatever that is. Fierce Entry 2, Recharging Strike 4, Punishing Strike 2, that, and the Sync nodes. So Endurance, just a potentially clutch node. I don't see too much value in it. Max Overgrowth, I also don't really see too much value in that, but if you do need a very powered up max move, then it's there again. Pretty just cliche stuff you'll find in a lot of max move user kits. Spore, use status on opponent, defense down 9, lowering enemy defense when the user's Pokemon uses a status move targeting that opponent. I think this does kind of get rid of the necessity of trying to run Punishing Strike, because you're just going to be putting the enemy to sleep a lot, and they're going to get their defense debuff that way. I think that's probably a lot more worth going for, especially because she does have Cakewalk now here. So she does have 200% in total multipliers with the Innate Inertia, as well as the Cakewalk, both of which are easy to activate because of her buddy move, obviously, so you're not going to be having too much trouble activating that, so that's nice. Pretty decent. Really, this just makes me see not much of a reason to go for Punishing Strike up here. Bullet Seed speed up moves up 5, powering up moves when speed is raised. Why didn't she just get this as a regular node? She doesn't have any other DPS option. You could have just given her speed up moves up 5, which is also... Don't we already have something like this? Doesn't every, like... every stat have some sort of power up for whenever its stat is raised. Like speed when it's debuffed has chase down or something, right? I'm pretty sure Terrakion, like was it Sharpened Mind and Sharpened Body, I think, power up attack and special attack whenever your stats are raised, right? Or sorry, power up your moves whenever your attack and special attack are raised. There's got to be one for speed, so there's no way that they're doing this stupid bullshit with the speed up moves up 5. Fuck you. Okay. Fierce Entry 2 for maxing offenses. Again, not really too worth mentioning, but I mean, it is there. This would be a little bit more impactful if she had like Haymaker or something, but she does not. Recharging Strike, Charging Gauge. This could be good if you know her gauge management somehow is not effective enough for you, and you really need to have the gauge for Bullet Seed, and mostly just a Gauntlet scenario. That's it. I mean, if you're working with a team, you're not really going to be struggling for gauge at all, so Bullet Seed's going to be doing fine as is. So it really gives her not too many nodes that are worth really picking up, I would say. It's like you're trying to power up Bullet Seed, I guess. Though really, in most other content, I wouldn't really think powering up Bullet Seed's that great. I literally only think that this is worth going for in the Gauntlet. That's it. It's not going to be really solid against any ultimate battles. I mean, you can try her against Argenta if you really feel like it. Go for it. Have a blast. I don't really care. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. Not too sure. And this is where the Punishing Strike is helpful, because obviously in ultimate battles some ultimate battles are just straight up immune to those statuses, right? But also simultaneously, I mean, it's not as if you can fail using the move, right? Like it says, as long as the move is used targeting that opponent, right? It doesn't mean that the move has to be successful. So if you use Spore, it'll still debuff enemy defense, but this is still, Punishing Strike would be better in that instance. But for like any stage that is like sleep spammable, or that's what you're, gonna try and go for with Greta, I'd say it's just better to pick up this node than picking up Punishing Strike. But again, ultimate battles and whatnot where enemies are immune to sleep, or maybe sleep's a little bit more finicky, right? Like with resilience and whatnot, going for the Punishing Strike could be better just in that specific instance. I don't know. I think this kit's also pretty weird. Not really weird, but just, I don't know, quirky. I guess quirky and weird would be the same thing. I don't know. I'm not really sure how I think about it. I mean, Bullet Seed's pretty low on the base power department. Her nuke's fine, but not, like, fantastic. She does have both aspects of sprint and field, right, which is solid. She does have the sync countdown, the gauge management with speed buffs. She does have the sleep spam, which is always going to be pretty helpful, and mostly just the gauntlet, and, of course, could be helpful in ultimate battles, right, for, sleep, putting enemies to sleep, turn denial, that type of stuff. Pretty much, sleep's good anywhere that it's available to actually use, and, the enemies aren't immune for the most part. Even with resilience, sleep is good. Just AoE is a little bit annoying. This, again, also like in the high score event, AoE sleep's a little bit annoying because you're activating all of the enemy's resilience at once. So you are getting all these good effects of, speed debuffs, speed buffs, sync countdown, whatever, but you are also activating all of the enemy resilience when you could have made better use of, like, using Spore on each individual enemy, because it's not as if Greta's doing too much else. Like, Bullet Seed DPS? Really? But that's just mostly what I think. 4 out of 5, she gets Grassy Turn Extension. That's going to be good for the max move, and of course the field sync move if you do give her the field EX roll, which I probably would advise if you're going to be using her. At this point, I think you just need to get as much juice out of her as you can. Soften Up 1, I don't think that's too valuable because she only has a single target max move. Sync move, rather. I guess max move too. Critical hits land more easily. Okay, so it doesn't even apply to max moves. Whatever, still. I think it's just not really worth picking up unless you have a Striker sync move. But the extension's good. Then 5 out of 5, she gets Unfortunate Strike 4 and Guaranteed Triple. Now, this is where things get a lot better for her. 100%. Because you get the random stat raise whenever the user's Pokemon uses a status move, which means you can start buffing your evasion, and then, of course, you can alternate between that and Bullet Seed, which will then potentially be able to debuff enemy accuracy or offensive stats or whatever. Combine that with the healing from Verdant Recovery or gradual healing on the trainer move or whatever, and it honestly looks like Greta's going to be having some very solid gauntlet prowess. That's mostly me theory crafting, though. Any stage that can be, like, Slept Chained or whatever, she's going to be good for. Outside of that, I can't really say I have too much of an opinion. Maybe she'll be good for Regirock, considering she can probably easily clear the first bar. I don't know. I'd have to think about that, though. No. Well, she could also Sleep Chain the first bar for evasion fishing, too. Yeah, she probably got a pretty good Regirock clear on her, too. Okay, that's neat to think about. Outside of that, though, she looks fine. She looks fine. She's got the sprint field roll, which is, being the first one, it's going to kind of set a precedent, I guess, for, future field sprint characters. But whatever. Sure. I think she's pretty quirky. That's something to think about. But I do think she's got some pretty decent abilities that she can work with. She's got a lot of debuffs with Unfortunate Strike, random stat buffs, mostly just gauntlet help, but then outside of that, she's still got the sleep abilities, the team gauge management, sync countdown abilities, a decent enough nuke, right? She's got some pretty solid, decent abilities outside of just trying to think about the legendary gauntlet, so that's good. But anyway, that's my thoughts about, I guess, these 3 sync pairs. Klara is a tech that is definitely just a striker. Avery is like the next Volo, and then Greta, first sprint field, is definitely setting a precedent of wonkiness. Either way, though, not bad. Definitely not bad at all, honestly. I'll take all these characters. They all got their good, unique kits, yada yada. And of course, we'll get a little bit more insight, details, whatever, for when they actually are about to drop. So I'll be able to hopefully have a little bit more of a formed opinion by that point. But yeah, I'll see you later. Hope you all enjoyed. Let me know if you like any of these characters and whatnot. I am happy for all you Klara, Avery, and Greta fans, because that's a big group of people who just, are really happy today, because these 3 have been mostly us for a while. I mean, I think Greta's mostly just a loud minority, but Avery and Klara have definitely been wanted for quite a bit longer. But anyway, yeah, I'll see you all later. Hope you all enjoyed. Good luck on your summons, good luck on your skipping, have fun with the July data mine, and I'll see you all later.